Hi guys, and welcome back to the Uninkable Dads. And on today's episode, we're going to be running you through some spicy deck lists to get prepped for set champs. We'll also be looking at a quick roundup in Infinity, and we've got an ultra budget deck for you. Not just budget, turbo aggro as well. So, as always, I am joined by my co-host. That's right, it's not Santa, it's Quendeclan. He's just got the hat on this week. So, but yeah, did you enjoy your Infinity weekend?
Indeed, I did. So, Merry nearly Christmas to everybody. I had a blast, actually, Infinity weekend. I was only able to play the one. I couldn't play our local set champs. I had some coming around to pick up one of the puppies. So we travelled together. You kindly drove. We travelled up to a store which is relatively local. I mean, it's 45 minutes drive or something. We played there before, and yeah, absolutely loved it. Really nice bunch of people. Met some new people. Got to play some of the cards that I'd actually forgotten how much I enjoyed. And yeah, it was just fabulous, good fun. I think with the fact that you got the promo for entry, so there was no sweating over getting top 8 or any of that.
Yeah.
You could just have good fun enjoying playing these cards and trying to remember how some of these older decks go. But it was fantastic.
Sure.
And yourself, because obviously you managed to play a couple over the weekend.
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I played Red Blue. I went back to the deck I love, and it was really good. I found out that deck isn't as good in Infinity as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, no, I still enjoy playing it. But yeah, overall it was a really good weekend. I managed to pick up. I think I got 3 of the promos now, so I'm one short play set, so not bad. Yeah, but that's not the only thing I played over the weekend. It is nearly Christmas, so if it's going to be nearly Christmas, and a lot of people, normally when a set comes out, they start running proxy cards. Well, why not run Christmas proxy cards? If you're going to do it, let's do it in style, right? So obviously I do quicker, we'll fill in the disclaimer part of the form now, shall we? I do own all these cards. I had this deck built separately, so I was legal to play this at locals. But yeah, I built a entire Christmas themed proxy deck. So yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed making this. Obviously, no spoiler alert for anyone. I did have to use the aid of AI to help me to do this. I wish I was that talented to draw all this on these cards, but unfortunately, I'm not. So yeah, it was really good. I had quite a few surprises from people. No one was quite expecting me to stick down a Christmas Dumbo, so it was good.
And normally, if somebody says, "Oh, have you got your Christmas deck with you?" they're talking about red green, right?
Yeah, that's it. Red green is the normal Christmas deck, but I built a Ruby Amethyst Christmas deck. It's just not heard of, So yeah, no, this was really good. I'm definitely gonna keep with this theme. So watch this space. I'm sure there's other events we can cover and see if we can spice up a few cards here or there. But yeah, going from obviously my proxy deck to the most powerful deck that seems to be current in the meta. I did play against this Infinity. I wasn't expecting that. We had Infinity back. We've got all these wide range of cards you could play, and someone was playing the OTK. I'm like, what? I don't want to play this now. And Red Blue absolutely has no shot against this. What am I supposed to do? I run 2 Hades. That's it.
So fortunately, I was playing a Ruby Amethyst Control, so I played against this deck. I just clutched on to Lady Tremaines and Be Prepared like there was no tomorrow. And made sure I had them handy with bounce to make sure I could just keep replaying them. It reminded me just how much I loved Ruby Amethyst Control.
Yeah, I mean, I managed to control the board. I mean, they, quest-wise, they were never getting anywhere near. They were never going to quest to victory. It was just a case of, they played Monstro, I played Hades, they played Monstro, I played Hades, and then funny enough, I've only got two, so that combo ends there, and they win the game. So, but yeah, it was a bit of a surprise one. I knew obviously we'd expect this at set champs and possibly at locals, people testing it and stuff like that, but I wasn't expecting to find it in Infinity. That caught me out massively. So, yeah.
And I think, having watched some games of this a bit more now as well, one thing I would say to people is obviously expect to come across this at some point.
Yeah.
But when you do come across it as well, there's the combo works every time that you've got the pieces. But if you've just picked the deck up, and there will be a lot of people that just see this, pick the deck up, go out and play it, there's a lot of things that could go wrong when you resolve the combo. So my advice, if you're playing against it and somebody's got Monstro down, the next turn they've got cards in hand, they play the Great Illuminary, do not just accept that they've got the combo, therefore they win the game. I would ask them
100%.
to resolve it. Obviously, you have to keep an eye on the clock. Is it in your benefit or not? Because it can take a few minutes to play it
Yeah,
through
I
and
mean,
resolve
what
it.
I did with my opponent, when they got the Monstro and Luminary down, and I said, "How many cards have you got in hand?" They said three. I said, "Pick up your deck, keep three cards, put the rest down. You don't need to do the pick and shuffle. As long as you've got three cards at the end of it, you've basically done the whole thing." So that's obviously skips a big process of it,
Yeah,
especially if they've got like 50 cards left in the deck, Um, but yeah, no, I had the same sort of thing where it wasn't a given. That it was a slight. It's easy to misplay. They went down to one card in hand, one card in deck, and I knew it was the Allen in hand because they, for some reason, told me. Then passed turn, and I was like, "Well, all your monsters are now in your discard. All I've got to do is
yeah,
get rid of this one on board, and I win." But I couldn't find an answer, so they managed to play Allen next turn and win. But I was just like, they didn't quite get the idea. Obviously, you can play Allen from your discard using We Know the Way. You don't have to play the 4 ink for him. They didn't get that idea, so they were like, "Well, I don't have the ink to play Allen this turn, so I'll have to pass." I'm like, "Okay, I deal with Monstro and it's over, but okay." So yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, definitely get them to play it out because a lot of people will make a misplay in it at some point. But going from Infinity, obviously, we had the entire Infinity weekend all leading up to building this whole new world card that was so prized to us that we managed to earn it. And going from a whole new world to a whole new meta, let's have a look. What do we reckon for set champs? Set champs, I know that seems like a long way away. We're talking, oh, we've got Christmas yet, you got New Year yet. Everyone knows how time flies, especially around this time of year. And set champs isn't the second week or the third week of January. It's the first weekend. So we're talking second and third of January. So you're out on New Year's Eve, you come back, have a rest day on the first, straight into set champs on the second. No messing about. So we'll have a quick look at a few decks that did extremely well over the weekend at some big tournaments and give you an idea of what we're kind of expecting at the minute. And there's no big surprise really, but purple still seems to be up there. So this one PPG on Saturday. I mean, you're the purple steel player out of the two of us.
yeah. It just sits in the middle of the pack. I think is why it's so strong at the moment, because we've got some sort of big high rolly decks. We've got those sort of more control decks, but we've also got dogs. We've got green purple decks coming to the fore that are very quick. So if you're going to pick one of those, you've got a bad matchup somewhere. Whereas
Yeah,
purple still just doesn't really have a bad matchup. It's got game into absolutely all of those. And then you've got your core of this deck, and then you just tech it to what you think you're going to see most of on the day. Probably 30% or so of the field is going to be purple steel. So that's the one thing. If you are playing purple steel, get good at the
There's going to
mirror.
be a lot of it. I mean, also, is it like obviously the one deck that will always have a relatively good matchup into this is obviously Blurple. We know that Blurple can beat Purple still. It's just it's Genie Wars, but I get to play it before you, even if I'm going second. You know, so it's like we know that Blurple's always going to be a tough matchup. I think the newer cards, obviously Lexington and Demona, are really going to help level that out. But I think it's still probably just favoured. But the issue is Blurple doesn't deal very well with aggro. So the more and more of this purple emerald, amethyst emerald deck that we see that is literally running away with games very quickly. If you can't answer its combos within a couple of turns, you're probably going to lose that game. Blurple's never going to cope with that very well. So the more purple steel we have that answers the aggro, the less aggro we'll get, the more Blurple we'll get to counter the purple steel. It seems like a very a spinny circle there. It's the case of these aggro players stay around, then purple still has a good chance. If the aggro players disappear because the deck you're playing's beating them, then you start introducing the deck that's going to beat you. It's a bit like I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do think there's a couple of. I think the Olaf, interestingly, although it looks fairly innocuous, can really help against Blurple because you can bounce your dock. And that's essentially the thing you have to do against Blurple is just get as wide as possible. Lots
Yeah,
of bodies
yeah.
down on the board, so if you can, if
I
you can
mean,
if
like
you
you say,
can dock,
Demona's
play a
going to help
couple of
that as well.
cards, yeah. So I think those two cards, and as you say, the Lexington, to put a bit more threat onto the Genie.
Yeah,
I think they make a big difference.
yeah. They've obviously led quite hard into the Dumbo in this deck because you've got 4 characters that are obviously evasive on turn, plus the evasive package of purple normally runs. Only one Iago, but that doesn't surprise me with the amount of steel around. You know, you're never going to play him really in the mirror because it's the chances are it's not going to survive. But yeah, it's interesting.
I still
So
think
going,
Iago's worth playing.
yeah,
If there was more fire the cannons about, probably not. But it tends to be strength of raging fire that they're taking him out with, and yeah, fine, they can have one character on board and sing it and take him out, but they still use the strength of raging fire.
yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, like I say, I think the next step we'll have a look at is talking about mirrors. Is another purple steel deck. This comes second. So the final of this event was a purple steel mirror, and they have gone for the 2 Iago, but they've dropped that evasive side of things. So they've dropped the Genie and Jafar, but they've put the Tinkerbell in. So you've got that slightly more control evasive sort of thing. It's always evasive instead of only on turn, so it's harder for them to remove.
Yeah, and they've put Timothy Q. Mouse in, so this is a bit
Yeah,
quicker.
this is the quicker version, right? A little bit quicker, you know. But again, it's just such a strong deck. You know, it does everything it needs to do, and when you're slapping down onto either something that's going to quest for 2, something that's going to boost your other characters, or a free, you know, you're putting board threat down straight away. The Cobra as well for that unstoppable law is just so good. It's going to be, I think it is going to be hard to start and to beat this. I think I can see why this got first and second. The interesting one is we don't seem to see much. We haven't got a deck list for it today of the Sapphire Emerald. Everyone was so hyped up on Sapphire Emerald at the start of the set with the Prince Philip combo that we just don't see it in a minute. Even though it's got one of the only
Mm.
one-sided board wipes in the game, it's still not being played. I think it's a little bit risky. It's not got the draw and consistency that this does, and I think that's the issue. You sort of live and die by Clarabelle. So, but talking about risky, Sapphire Steel, anyone? Although this doesn't have the headless horseman in, so I can let it go. So this finished first at another tournament, and yeah, they're running what I'd call the basic ramp package. So you got Tipper and Sailwind, but they're also running 3 Pleakley, which is nice. 4 Cindy for the ramp as well. They then decided to go with the Shift Jasmine and the Mari instead of the Evasive Challenge Jasmine and the Mari. But the Shift one makes sense in this, right? It's like, if you don't find ramp, but you've still got Jasmine, you can just shift and you can pull out a Doc or pull out a Pleakley or a Lexington, or, there's so many allies in this. They work so well with, that most of the time you're probably going to find something. So yeah, I like this. I think this is quite a nice, consistent deck. This is more feeling a lot less high roll than obviously what we have seen with some of the Sapphire Blue decks. I think it'll probably take a bit of practice to get used to knowing whether to ramp or to play Jasmine, but I suppose that's matchup dependent. There's probably some matchups where you can afford not to ramp and ramp on 3 with Pleakley instead. So, I suppose once Jasmine's done a job, you can always use Pleakley and stick both of them, her and the shifted one into your ink. So, you can double ramp. Yeah, I look at this. I think this is a nice, tidy deck.
One of my opponents in Infinity was playing Sapphire Steel with the Jasmines. I think that was a line they played a couple of times. Play them to go, Jasmine, Shift Jasmine, then Pleakley. Put both in the inkwell. And then you're back on your normal game plan, if you like.
Yeah, you've just managed to get a couple of characters in hand as well. So I think it's, like I say, in the right matchup, it's definitely the right move. And then for those games where you need to be hitting your control quicker, you just go the ramp version with Tipper or Sail. So, there's nothing stopping you from turn 1 Jasmine, turn 2 Sail into something else, and then turn 3 doing Shift. And it wouldn't feel great, but then you go, next turn will be Cindy. So it's not the end of the world. Yeah. This managed to beat, so coming second in the same tournament, was a deck that I think both of us were sort of leaning towards at the beginning, but we're not too sure now, which is Ruby Amethyst. So this comes second, but this is a different style Ruby Amethyst. We see Vanellope Von Sweets in here. So this is an evasive 1/3. Doesn't do anything else. Only costs 1. It seems, I don't know whether they were leaning into the Dumbo.
It leans into Dumbo. If you get Lumiere down, it can then also take out genies.
Yeah, this is true. But then so can the Peter Pan and the... Oh, well, they're all 3 costs, aren't they? They're not 2.
Yeah,
so you got
but it's slow.
Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, but they're 1/3s, aren't they?
The 1/3s. This is a 3/1.
Yeah. Yeah. 4 Sisu in here as well.
It's fine. I'd love to see Ruby Amethyst coming back, so I'm a fan of this. I've played it a bit this set. I've enjoyed it. But as I was discussing with someone the other day, I was just like, if you're going to play this, why would you just not play Amethyst Steel?
Yeah, this is the thing.
Steel cards are just better.
The only good 3 cards this deck's got over Steel would be the Diablo, Lumiere, and Headless Horseman. They're 3 decent cards that you could argue are are pretty good. But then you could just play Grandma Tyler, play the 3/3 and steal. Only costs one, not two, but same stats. And then you got just straight up removal instead of headless. So it's like
Yeah,
it's all good to know.
Calhoun, and Calhoun sits
Mm.
in place of Diablo. Okay, doesn't quest for two, but can challenge, remove something from the board, and gain you 2 lore. And then, Strength of a Raging Fire, and Thunderbolt.
Yeah, there's
It's the
definitely a
best
few
removal
options in
around.
there. But yeah, I was tempted to try and build a Ruby Amethyst aggro deck. So you've obviously got
Nice.
the start of obviously Palace Guard. We know is strong because it sticks around. You've got Diablo, and then maybe just slapping in 2 quest after 2 quest and just going that route with it. I think it's okay. It's just missing something. I can't work out what it is at the minute. I think it is, like you say, that removal isn't quite as strong as steel is, so it doesn't feel quite right. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what people cook up. But talking about cooking up things and aggro, we've got probably one of the cheapest aggro decks I think I've ever seen. Which obviously we'll credit Specimen for this one, or Curly. Is it Curly Cards now?
Curly Cards. Joe
Curly
Curly.
Cards. Yeah. He obviously hasn't updated his Dreamborn account as either. Amateur. So obviously this is One Drop City for starters. What have we got here? What 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 32 one drops.
Great.
I mean, if you mulligan 7 and don't end up with a 1 drop, something's gone seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. So yeah, we've also got obviously it's crazy. 32 1 drops, 4 2 drops.
Yeah.
You're definitely playing 2 1s on turn 2, and then obviously we've got only 8 3 drops, and then the rest are actions or items. So I've tested this. When this pops off, this is insane, absolutely insane. But we were discussing this one before. We feel like it kind of you have to find Incast on Comic-Con, which is very, very weird for an aggro deck. You have to find the 2 items in your deck. But you do. If you don't hit either of those, you're gonna struggle. This doesn't have much card draw outside of the Comic-Con or Show Me More. That is pretty much its only card draw. Well, no, AIDS is the only card draw. So that's not pretty much that is. Well, you got Diablo as well, but so. But I suppose you can hard mulligan 7 for it because you're gonna find a 1 drop.
And for an aggressive deck, it hasn't got many. It's only got 2 questers in it. So it's aggressive because, yes, you can get multiple cards down per turn. But as you say, if you haven't got that Enigmatic Incaster down to take advantage of them, for those that may not be aware,
Extra.
Enigmatic Incasters, 2-cost uninkable item. You can exert the item, and if you've played 2 or more cards this turn, so it's not necessarily characters, that's cards. Inkcaster itself counts. So if you played Enigmatic Incaster, you play another card, you play 2 cards, then you gain 1 lore. So yes, if you're slapping multiple 1-drops down, if you've got an Enigmatic Incaster, that means you're tapping it, gaining a lore every time. But if you haven't got it down, then you're putting a lot of 1 questers on the board that have no strength, very little willpower.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually run this much into Purple Steel, so I don't know how well it fares there. Because they can go relatively wide themselves. Then you've got the songs as well. So there are ways of dealing with it. I think it is a bit of a casino deck. I think it either pops off or it doesn't. And then when it pops off, it's insanely quick. Just because of the pure amount of cards you can flood the board with. And then, like you said, when you get to the point where you're playing double Show Me More in a turn just because you've got 7 ink because they've ramped you, and then you know you're playing out Chromacon after caster and gathering knowledge, and yeah, it can
Yeah,
just
it
absolutely
can
go
suddenly
insane.
become unstoppable, isn't it? You play White Rose, gathering knowledge and wisdom. You've already gained 3 lore. You tap your Inkcaster, you get another one. You gain 4 lore, which is completely and utterly unstoppable. So yeah, I mean, it's an insanely well put together deck. You know, Speci is an incredible deck builder. Um, but yeah, how you come to this collection of cards is it's not an
I reckon he
obvious
stores his
list.
cards in ink cost. And he's just gone, oh, Diablo's good. Pascal, Bobby, yeah, okay, we'll have Fred, Little John, Pegasus. I should probably include some others. It's just, yeah, I don't think I've ever, well, I know I haven't. I've never seen a deck with 32 one drops, and I don't think we'll probably see it again, to be fair. You know, it is absolutely crazy. But
This
like I say, it does well.
Maleficent's interesting because she's popped up in a couple, popped up in some list a while ago as well. But you just look at her and she's got to survive a turn.
Yeah, so
And she's
she's
got a
a free
quest.
drop inkable 0/4 quest for 2. Whenever this character quests, you may choose and discard a card to return chosen character, item, or location will cost 3 or less to a player's hand. That seems very, very specific.
Yeah, it feels a lot to do, doesn't it?
This has
So
got to be in here for a reason. There must be something that he's noticed that he can bounce back to do something.
yeah, you can bounce your own stuff. I don't see there's enough advantage from that. I mean, obviously, I guess it'd be good in the mirror if you think the mirror is going to be a thing because you can
Yeah,
get
I
rid
mean,
of
also,
the
you want to
Inkcaster.
go
But
wide with stuff, so discarding a card doesn't
mm,
feel good. So, yeah, I'm not sure on this. I'm like I say, there's probably a. I wonder if it's Calhoun, bounce back Calhoun,
no, no, yeah.
go wide, play this on free, bounce Calhoun, start forward, then start questing.
But at the end of the day, this is a $12 deck,
Well, yeah,
which
this is
is a
true.
lot of fun actually to play. Um, and is genuinely quite competitive in certain situations. So you really can't ask for much more than that out of a deck. Um, it's sort of deck. If you're thinking about set champs and you're like, I really don't want to grind through rounds. I want to play a bit Lorcana and be more social. This is a way to ensure that your rounds certainly don't last longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. If your
Win or
round's going
lose,
past
you
10 minutes, something's gone wrong.
yeah, absolutely win or lose, you're done quickly.
Yeah, no, that's a interesting one. We'll have to keep an eye out because I'm guessing he'd be playing this. Is he playing this in the LCCC?
Yes,
He is.
maybe he is.
Okay. So if you want to see how he pilots that, obviously check out the LCCC. So Lorcana Continental Cross Continental Clash. So yeah, that's on multiple channels. So you can find that somewhere, I'm sure. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And for £12, it's a bargain. You can even change a few bits up if you wanted to, but yeah. So going from there, set champs is sneaking up on us. It's not far now, like we said. Before we know it, we'll be through set champs, and that's the end of January. And then before we know it, it's time for the Lorcana news because we'll be straight back into the next set. So the next set is obviously Winter Spell, set 11, and that is coming out on the 13th of February. And we've got a couple cards from it. So, you know, I'll do the first one and I'll let you do the second one. So the first card we had revealed was a 5-cost uninkable Anna Smoothing Sister. Is that smoothing? Yeah.
Soothing.
Soothing, there we go. I don't know where I did the M for that.
It's also
Yeah. It's
inkable,
been a long day.
but
Did I say uninkable?
yeah. But there you go. You're doing
We'll
well.
try again.
Carol.
Yeah, okay. It's a 4/4. No, it's a 5/5. It's a Floodborn Hero Queen. Um, the main thing there is Floodborn. So it has the first ability, Unusual Transformation. If a card has left a player's discard this turn, this card shifts for 0. Yeah, it doesn't have a shift cost outside of that. So if something doesn't leave your discard, you can't shift it. Um, there are some relatively good Arna shifts, so I think that has a chance. Moving something from discard, bit more niche, but possible. And her main ability, whenever this character quests, you may gain lore equal to the. Sorry, when this character quests, gain lore equal to the lore of a character card in your discard. If you do, put that card at the bottom of your deck. Mainly so you can't use it multiple times in one turn. Yeah, there's a few that quest for 3 and 4.
That's a lot of hoops to jump through.
It is. It's a lot of hoops to jump through for 4 lore. You might find a character of 5 if you're lucky. I mean, the only deck I can see this working in is Amber Amethyst with stuff that likes to take things from the discard. So, like, you've got stuff there. Apart
You've
from that,
got Mirabelle that quests for 5. I
yeah,
guess if you were going that route.
yeah. So there's options.
But the problem is it's a bit those cards that quest for a lot of lore are not really cards you want in your deck other than to gain this lore off the discard, if you know what I mean. So they're probably not cards that you particularly want to see in your hand. And again, if you can't shift this, playing it on 5, this doesn't feel good enough for a 5 cost card.
No, I mean the thing I suppose is it's whenever it quests, right? So if it does sit there, the longer and longer it sits there, you're gaining potentially an extra lore than what it does. Because if you've got a few 2 questers in there, I don't know. With the stats around a couple of sets ago, I think a 5/5 is really good. Currently, a 5/5 I don't think is enough. I think this could get taken out quite easily. It doesn't even have ward, so yeah, I don't think this is a major threat. Obviously, we don't know what else is in the set. Maybe something extremely broken that comes with this, which is a card that when you play it self-banishes itself to the discard and it quests for 10 or something. We don't know. But currently, as it stands, the Smoothing Sister.
Which she will always be known as from now on.
Yep. Calhoun Callahan's Smoothing Sister. Yeah, so I think it's a good one. But go on then.
Yeah, for those
take away the more meta card.
And I'm very excited about that card. But for those that are not watching us on YouTube and are listening to us on Spotify, basically Michael has just described an Amethyst card that you're never going to play. Okay, move on.
Yep.
So
pretty much.
Yep. I'm really excited about this next one. Because to me, this is what we've been. It's what we've been missing since Be Prepared got rotated out. Okay, so it's not a ball wipe.
It's
not a ball wipe, but it is so much cooler than that. So it is a 3-cost uninkable action song card with the title. Do you want to build a snowman? Really shouldn't have attempted to sing that, but that's the whole point to this card, right? The singing is the whole point to the card. So when you play this card, your chosen opponent has to choose yes or no. So they have to tell you whether they want to build a snowman. If they do, you gain 3 lore. If they don't, they choose a character of theirs and put that card on the bottom of their deck. But I can so see Baker, Lorcana villain, taking to this. And what that build up that we had when Be Prepared was around, waiting to see it played, and Lorcana villain belt out the song. I can see that this being the replacement to that, just waiting for someone to sing it. It's got to be sung on stream as well. I just want to see a world class player sing this to their opponent on stream in a major match. That's just Disney
Okay,
Lorcana all over for me.
no, that's fine. I'll do it in February at CCQ. That'd be alright, right?
You do it for me. Awesome.
Yeah, I'll do it. That's fine. Oh, sorry, world cast play. I thought you said world. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a good card. I don't think you're ever gaining lore from it. I could be wrong.
So I was gonna ask, because
It's the
you know
Hades
the
battle
rules a
all
lot
over
better than
again,
I
isn't it?
do. How does that work if they don't have a character on board?
They can't put one on the bottom of the deck, so you
They
gain
would
free lore.
have to gain it. So that's where I think this could really come in.
Yeah, I suppose you take something out and then
If
you
you
sing
can,
this and then you gain free lore. Yeah, okay.
so
Yeah, because if they choose,
or
no,
you
they have to put something at the bottom.
yeah, or you wipe the board basically because you've cleared off wherever else they had, left them with one thing on board, which may be
Yeah,
their most
if you can't
powerful
deal with the
thing, and then
big
you
body,
say, well,
yeah.
there you go, you can give me 3 lore, or you can get rid of that, and I've wiped your board. So either way, so there will
You
be
could do it.
situations where
You could be like, I'm going to play Hades. Do you want to stick that at the bottom of your deck? Nah, you can draw 2 cards. Okay. Well, I'm going to play this. Do you want to give it free lore as well?
yeah,
All right, it can go at the bottom. Or you play Hades and they're like, yeah, all right, I'll get rid of it. You're not having cards. And then you play this and be like, oh, I'll have free lore as well.
yeah,
Yeah, I like it.
no,
I like it. I think it's got a good chance. I also think it has a very, very good chance of being enchanted.
yeah, the artwork's
For anyone that
gorgeous.
is listening only, they've done an amazing job of like picturizing that moment from the film. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this looks like. I can imagine in foil this is going to look insane. I would imagine at least an epic in this, if not an enchanted. You never know. We could be looking at the iconic of the set. I don't think so, but an enchanted at least, I think. So it is that time for our Art Matters game. So we're coming up to, this is probably the last main episode of the year. I know, sad times. But don't worry, it's not the last ever episode. You know, we're not following that trend with our podcast. You know, we will be back. All jokes aside. Yeah, the Art Matters for last week was if you could pick any card by art alone that would be your Games Master. So obviously there's a lot of family games that get played over Christmas. So who would your Games Master be? So first up we have Mrs. FPS. She said a Woodchuck guidebook. Her theory on this was he looks like he would know all the rules to all the games and just be like, this is how you play. Simple as. No messing about. So yeah, that was a pretty good one. Who did you go for yourself?
So I think there's going to be a theme running through these. So I'm also somebody that likes my games organized. Yeah, my games master doesn't have to be any fun. We can provide the fun, but he's got to know the rules. He's got to make sure people keep to the rules, and straight up organization. So I've gone for Cobra Bubbles because he just looks like
Nice.
he's there, he's sorted, he's not going to take any messing around. We're going to play this game properly. We're going to stick to the rules. So yeah, he's kind of what I need in a games master.
Oh, nice. So your games master is a little bit like a referee in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
Well.
good because I went for referee. Yeah, it's just a standard, everyone has the family drama around a monopoly or, it's, for anyone that knows me a bit more personally than some of you may, obviously I used to be an engineer, got, quite a strong background in engineering. So I play a game with the kids where you have to line up 2 things on one side and the other. And I always get accused of cheating every year because I manage to win and they don't. And I'm like, I'm just using my brain here and figuring out the best way of doing it. And they're like, no, you're cheating. I'm like, I'm not cheating. I'm just playing the game. Just because you can't beat me doesn't mean I'm cheating. But yeah, so I'd go for Pete. He could step in and, separate any arguments before they start. Especially, that Boxing Day. There's always going to be someone who whinges about losing a game on Boxing Day. Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed it. Obviously, we're going to give the art matters a little bit of a break, just because we want to, new year, new spice. So we'll come back in the new year with another idea. And if you have one, please, scroll down, find that subscribe button on your way past, give it a little exert, and then drop us a comment and let us know if you could play a community game with us, something that people can comment away to. What would it be? So let us know of any ideas, and if not, hopefully we'll come up with one ourselves. So maybe we'll find out next year. So obviously the episode today is dropped on the 19th. So unfortunately, next week, under a week now until it's Christmas. So our normal episode would come out on Boxing Day. So unfortunately, you know, we're Uninkable Dads. We have kids. We're going to enjoy the Christmas with the kids. So we're not going to have a scheduled episode as usual for next week. First one, I know. We've done well. We've made it all the way to Christmas without dropping an episode. But we will be back for you, obviously, straight away in January, ready for that set champ spice. But there will be a little Christmas episode.
Oh.
Don't worry, I haven't forgot. There will be a little Christmas episode for you guys next week on Christmas Day. So please, just pop by when you have a spare 10 minutes or so. It won't be a very long one. It's just we want to do something different for you for Christmas. But yeah, I hope everyone obviously enjoys your Christmas. Enjoy the time with family and, sneak in a bit of Lorcana practice here or there where you can. I know we've got a Lorcana day set out, haven't we, for the 27th with all our locals. Looking forward to that.
Fun. Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of it from me. Anything you want to wrap on?
Well, a big thank you to everyone who has watched. As you say, if you do tune in for our Christmas Day episode, I think we're going to go back over the year a little bit, so I won't sort of do that here. But we started this channel saying that we get something started because if it was just us two sitting here chatting about Lorcana once a week, we like to do that anyway. So, but actually, you've listened, you've joined in, you've subscribed. We thank you for all of that. It's been an amazing journey so far. It feels like we're just getting started. We've got lots of plans 100%. And ideas. So yeah, just a huge thank you for watching the videos, for commenting, for the amazing support that we've had. So we wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. We hope your cards under the tree are enchanted and iconics, and that you just have the best time with family and friends, and that you will continue to come with us on this journey next year, into the new year and beyond. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed as yet, please do that. That really helps us. It's a free way that you can help and support the channel. And yeah, just join in the conversation in the comments and let us know what you'd love to see in the new year. So what could our Christmas present to you be? What would you like to see in 2026 from us? We want to bring you content that you enjoy and that is helpful to you. So do let us know what you'd like to see. And yeah, a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's time to roll up that playmat.
Pack away the dice.
I remember, stay uninkable.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.